สวัสดีค่ะ Welcome back to Bim's Kitchen. This video we gonna make sourdough baguette. I use Alicia recipe. She have about 70% hydration. So the water will be 685, 86. So the water will be 686, and then we add 200 grams of starter. My starter been feeding from last couple days, so we need 200 grams of starter. This starter I've been feeding once a week, and then I use it from the fridge. This is still cold. So people ask me how is the starter being used. I just use the cold starter from the fridge. That's okay. So 200 grams. That's it. Okay, after I add starter, I'm gonna mix the starter with the water first. My starter a little bit thick. That's okay. So after I mix starter with the water well, I then add the flour. Then I add salt. Salt is 20 grams, same as starter. Starter is normally I add 20% of my 20% from the weight of my flour. So I'm gonna mix. A little bit stiff. I'm gonna come back in 15 minutes. This is the dough after 15 minutes. I'm gonna doing that for about 10 minutes. This is the dough after I rest for 15 minutes, and then I continue do a roux method. Gently with the dough, don't break the gluten, and keep doing it for a long period of time. This is the second mix after 15 minutes. This is the third mix. I use coil foam method. After 30 minutes resting the dough, I come back and use the coil foam method. I learned a lot from Alicia. After you mix the dough well, I can see that 70% hydration. The dough very nice and elastic. Thank you, Alicia. And now we rest the dough. This is the fourth mix. I use a coil foam method again. My dough is become very nice and smooth now. And also I can see a little bubble there. It's very good sign. I'm gonna do in the coil for a couple of times, and then I'm gonna rest the dough in the container at 25 degrees Celsius for about 3 hours. This is the dough after proofing. So I'm gonna cut into the small portion. So this recipe I probably gonna have 8 baguettes. Now I wet some of the counter surface with water, and then I flip the bucket over, and then I use a knife to cut into 8 portions and weight 233 to 35. So I have about 8 round ball. So go ahead and round it up to make sure the ball is nice and tight. After being proofed for a long time, my dough is really bubbling. I think if I make the battered loaf, I think it's gonna be nice open crumb too. But there you go. I need to proof a little bit longer. But anyway, very difficult to find out what is overproof, what is underproof, because I bring my dough to my office, and my office a little bit hot. While I'm working on my document, I also use some bucket up and then turn on my air condition 25 degrees Celsius, but quite big room. So now round it up and make sure it's nice and tight. So you already get about 8 nice round ball, and that is the baguette ball. So, and then I just raise the dough in the baking tray. I dust some of my baking tray with some flour to prevent the dough stick onto the tray, so it's easy to transfer after we shaping the dough. And then after I proof, I rest the dough about 30 minutes. Now I shaping the dough. This is the way I shaping the baguette. All you need to do is just folding the edge together. So when you folding them together about a couple of times, they're gonna become a long strip. And then use your palm to roll it. I don't know how to explain in English, but you can see a lot of shaping. So I didn't cut the video, but I make it faster so you understand how I do it. And then after that, you transfer into the linen, and make sure you dust some flour onto the linen. And you can use the baguette tray, baking tray as well. But I don't like the hole underneath the tray when you're baking. Some of my friends said I can use the parchment paper to put underneath the tray. But again, I like the linen better. Okay, this one I show you another baguette, how to rotate. Always make sure that the edge of each side is pointing. Make sure it's nice and pointing. And this is the second one. I dust a lot of flour underneath. This is the third one. See, just roll the edge into the middle like that. And if you see the bubble, just pop it. So you don't need to have the bubble during your shaping the baguette. So roll it up. You can see the middle, there is some bubble in there. I'm gonna pop it. Okay, so nice and tight, and then put into the linen. So my linen is I buy it. Okay, my sponsor sent it to me, so he bought it from the Amazon, I think, and he bought me the big set with the tray as well, and the linen, and also the wooden board to flip the baguette later. So thank you for sending me that, my baguette after shaping. So I have 8 beautiful baguette been proofing. Now I've been proofing this dough on the top of my oven counter and cover with the cloth. Make sure it's not dry. After about 2 hours, my baguette is become almost double in size. I should be proof a little bit longer, but anyway, it's late at night and I want to sleep, and just use the wooden board to transfer the baguette into the baking tray. So I put some silicone parchment paper, not parchment silicone, we say that, onto the baking tray, and then just use a very sharp blade to score it. So you can score it very overlap each other like that. I should be make 4, but anyway I make 3. If I have the dough proofing a little bit longer, my baguette should be open more, but anyway, lesson learned. Okay, keep scoring for all the baguette I have. So I have 3 in one in 2 tray, and I have 2 in 1 tray. I'm gonna baking in the same time. So I preheat the oven 230 for about half hour. Then I put 3 tray, baking tray, baking together in the same time. So then during baking, I keep rotate the tray. So make sure when they bake, they bake evenly. And then I add the water into the baking tray that I've been preheat together with the oven, and then closing the door, baking for 15 minutes. You can see the dough rising up with the steam. Nice. And then after 15 minutes, then I remove the tray of water and rotate my baguette to make sure every baguette bake evenly, so they have nice color. And then I continue to bake my baguette another 15 minutes or more until I see the color is nice and beautiful. So you have nice crust from outside and soft inside. My son loves it so much. He eats 2 after I bake. And this is amazing baguette. Let me show you the crumb of my baguette. As I say to you that I need to sleep, so I didn't proof long enough. It should be more open, or I should proof about 3 hours at least. But anyway, it's nice and still very tasty. A little bit under, but yummy. I like to thank you, Alicia, and thank you, Chef Joe, for inspiration. I use Alicia recipe, but I adapt my method to match with my schedule. So this is a crumb of my sourdough baguette. This is delicious. All I need is the butter to have it. I like to thank you for your watching, and I hope you enjoy my video. See you next time.